Hello, it's me, Terry, again from the Cumberland County Library, and I would like to do another little art project. Today, I'm going to attempt to do a sunset and then stencil a picture on the sunset. I've not done this before, so we're going to learn this together. I've got poster board up here, which if you've got a canvas, you can use a canvas, but I'm just using poster board because that's what I've got. I've got my paint. I've got a light yellow, a medium yellow, an orange, and a red. And we're going to graduate these colors up our poster board to make the semblance of a sunset. So let's give it a try and see what we can do. I'm going to start out with my light yellow, my lightest yellow first on the bottom here. And we're going to fill this in. I should have put something behind this, but that's okay. This is my drawing board, and I use it for all kinds of art projects. It's already got stuff all over it. But we're going to go, I don't know, maybe about a third of the way up, even though we have four colors. I'm going to bring in some of the darker yellow. I don't know if you can see this on the film or not, but and then we're going to bring it down here because we want to graduate it. We're going to use the colors. Each color that we put down, we're going to incorporate it into the color below it so that it kind of blends together. And now we're going to do our orange. Bring it down some, because we don't want just stripes. We want it to look like it's gradually going up in there. And we may come back and even put a little bit more of the yellows in with it, because in real life a sunset isn't just stripes of color. It's a graduation of color, and it's clouds. We can put a little bit of clouds in here. It's usually just like little straight line clouds. Okay, let's go back and do a little bit more of this yellow. Streak it in here some. There we go. May have gotten a little too much that time, but we can take care of that. Oh yeah. So we don't want definite lines. We want it kind of graduated. We do not want to have like yellow and orange just graduated. We don't want just definite lines in here. Let's put a little orange right in here. Mix it in with that yellow some. Because we have different, and now for the last color we're going to use the red. Because if you've ever looked at a sunset, the closer to the ground your sunset is, the lighter it is. And then the stars, the sky is darkening above your sunset. So that's what we're trying to recreate here. We're doing some graduation of color. And some sunsets, if you will look in books and look online at pictures, depends on where you're at. If you're, say, at an ocean, or we'll add some oranges in here, you will see different colors of sunsets. You'll see sunsets with orange and red and yellow like this, or you'll see it with purples and pinks and I mean sunsets, like everything else, come in a variety of colors. So, like I always tell you, this is your painting. So, you make your sunset whatever design you want and whatever colors you want. And down here, you could actually, if you didn't want to stencil anything, you could actually come in here and this could be water, and you could put your sun here and do your thing, and then do a little reflection, and then take a dry brush when you're over and brush it back and forth, and you'd have sunset on the water and the reflection in the water. That's a really, really pretty sunset to do. But we're just gonna take our sunset today, and we're going to and if you'll notice, I haven't cleaned my brush, because we want these colors to blend. I cannot stress enough that you do not want just stripes. You do not want just yellow, orange, and red. You want this to graduate up into colors. You want it to change colors, just like in a sunset. And when you get to the very, very top, you want that to be your darkest. So we're going to go full red at the top. So that will represent our darkest area of the sky and give it a little dimension. I hope you've enjoyed these art lessons that we've been doing. I don't know if they're lessons or not, but they're little things to keep us interested in having something to do. I know we all get bored. There's only so much cleaning you can do. There's almost so much, well, for me, don't tell anybody this, but sometimes I even get tired of reading. So, now you know my big secret. So there we go. We've got our sunset on our paper. We've graduated it up. We've mixed some of the colors in to make it look sort of like a cloud. And we've ended up with our darkest color on the top, because that's the way a sunset graduates up. Now, I have this stencil. Mandy cut out some stuff for me, and I had her to keep the papers for me, because I had this in my mind that I would like to do a stencil. So I'm going to do this one with the giraffes and the big tree and the birds. I'm going to hit this right here just a second with a little bit of hair dryer, because I don't want it to be real wet when I put this on here. It won't take much, because acrylic paints dry really fast, and that's one of the things when you're working with acrylics. You have to be pretty quick with them, because they'll dry, and then you have to paint over in order to get your look. I think that's going to be dry enough. Oh yeah. So when you stencil something, you put it on your painting like this, and you want it to stay down. The best case scenario here would be if I had kind of a tacky spray or glue or something that I could put this down with, that would completely hold the whole thing down, and then I could remove it when it was over without damaging the painting. But I don't have anything like that, so I'm going to try to hold it down in places, because when you stencil, what you want to do is you want this as firmly against the painting as possible, so that your paint won't bleed up and you'll have nice edges. So I'm going to tape it down as much as possible. I don't know. This, like I said, this is the first time I've done this, so we're kind of going to learn together. We will see how this turns out. Maybe one of those experiments gone wrong, but you never know till you try. And it may turn out to be something entirely different that we want to try again. So I'm going to take my plate, use my black paint, because this is going to be kind of a silhouette. Put lots of black paint on here. Okay. And I'm going to use a sponge. Now the best thing that you could do would be to use a makeup sponge because they're smooth. But I don't wear much makeup and I didn't have a makeup sponge. So I've cut up an old sponge that I had here at the house, and that's what I'm going to use. You dab a little of your paint off. You don't want a lot of paint on your sponge because it'll, like I said, it'll squash up in between. And then you dab. Just dab your picture. Make sure you cover it. I'll get my birds first. Just dab, dab, dab. Now, I'm going to come over here to my tree, and I'm trying to hold this down as I go because, like I said, they make an adhesive that you can get that will hold your stencils on, and then you can just peel them off when you get done. But, you know, we don't have that, so we're going to just do what we can do. So we're going to go down through here, try to hold this in. Do our giraffe, do our bottom of our picture, fill in as much as we can. I certainly hope this turns out good. In my mind, it's going to look cute, but now, I've told you before, what I start out thinking something will be and what it ends up being is not always the same thing. Remember, when you dab your sponge, dab a little of the paint off because you don't want a lot of paint on there. Let's go over here and start coming this way now. And, you know, you can do this with anything. You could do blue, like an ocean, and get you some different, cut you out some different stencils that look like different fish and put them in there. That would be cute. This is just something that, like I said, Mandy cut out for me, and when I saw it, I thought, oh, that would make a cute stencil. I've seen things like this. I'm always on Pinterest. I'm always looking for ideas. You know, my ideas aren't always the same as the ones that the people on Pinterest put out, but it is an inspiration. And when you have an inspiration and you carry it out to your own idea, that's kind of what art's about. You don't necessarily want to copy everything that everybody else has got. You want something that's going to be your very own. When you look at it, you see your own ideas in it. So, here we go. Oop, stuck my finger in the middle of that one. Well, it's not black in the background, but it may be enough. Who knows? Maybe some of that color bleeding through will just add to the picture. That would be another one of our own little creations. Another one of those, well, that's not what I wanted it to be, but I like it after it gets done. And remember, don't swipe back and forth, just pounce it like this, because you do not want to push that paint up and under your stencil, which I may have, I don't know. I'm going to hit it once again with a little bit of heat. we're going to take the stencil down and reveal what's underneath. I may cry because it's awful, or I may be happy because it looks similar to what I thought it would. Well, not bad. Not bad at all. I can see a few places where I got out of line. But I think I can take my paintbrush and kind of level that out. But there you go. That's a sunset on a safari, I guess, since you have your giraffes and everything. But I kind of like that. I think it's kind of cute. And like I say, you can come up with your own ideas and your own way to do this. It doesn't take very long. As you can see, I think it took about 15 minutes. So that's another idea for you. So stay in, stay safe, do a little art, and I will talk to you next time.